Well, you've seen the title. Let's see what we got in the bag. The current British Army MTP multi-terrain pattern. My old Swiss M70, sometimes referred to as Alpenflage, but I have dyed it. So this is my version of woodland, shall we say. If you want to see the process of what I did and the before and after pictures of that, I'll stick a card up. It'll either be that corner or that corner. I can't remember which. Let's get on with some testing. Right, I've just put the jacket, the MTP, on a hanger, hung it in the branches of that tree, a little bit of green in front of it, and to be fair, that's pretty damn good. I am only about 7 or 8 paces away. So let me zoom a little, not much because it will go funny definition. Can we see in there? In the tree? It is, get my finger in, there. I think that's quite respectable, seeing as it's such a light colour. Let me back out again. Yep, that's pretty good in that location, but it is fairly bright. Although it's behind the green, it has got sun shining on it, so that's going to be, you know, leaning towards a lighter pattern. Let's swap them over. Right, that's swapped over. There's my M70, same spot. Not bad at all. I can see the, as we're looking at it, the left shoulder illuminated slightly by the sun. Let me zoom a little. Can you see him there? Still quite respectable. In that location I'd be happy using either, to be perfectly honest. And the other thing, of course, about camouflage, it's not magic. It's down to the user. It's down to the people to use proper fieldcraft, staying out of the direct sun, using the cover, being aware of what's behind you, that sort of thing. But just hanging there, I'd say it's probably a draw, to be fair. Certainly to my eye from here. Right, let's find another location. More traditional sort of British woodland. Yeah, there's a bit of fir, there's a bit of everything like there is in the UK. Again, I'm in quite a bright location, so that's probably a little bit unfair. Again, I'm about 8 paces away, maybe 20 feet, something like that. And the MTP actually looks okay. Works quite well with the greenery to the left and right, but it does show up against the darker tree trunk. Let's swap over. There's the M70, same location, same distance. I haven't changed settings on the camera, nothing like that. I think that works better, personally. Trouble is, I'm never too sure how it's going to come across on camera. From the naked eye, it works better. Still blends well with the greenery, and it's not quite as big a contrast to the tree. I think the M70 is better in that location, personally. Right, all I need to do now is find a sort of dark, shadowy area, and then we'll have some conclusions. I'm struggling to find dark, shadowy areas. It's such a bright day. So I've just put it in that clump of firs, low to the ground. And that MTP actually is working way better than I thought it would for such a light pattern. Once you get it out of the sun, it does seem to almost take on the natural colours and shadows. That is pretty good. Let's swap them over. And that's my jacket in the same location. If anything, it's a little too dark. Yeah, interesting. I thought it would do well in the darker areas, being a darker shade. That just shows you. What do I know? Right, let's have some conclusions. Well, that didn't go as I thought it would, to be perfectly honest. How did you think it turned out? I would say, after certainly the testing in the locations I've used, they both work probably about equal. There is no two locations the same. Different camos will work in different areas. But I suppose conclusion wise, the MTP, although it's a very light pattern, it does work in this sort of environment. Some places better than others, of course, but I was most shocked when I put it in a dark shady area, how it seemed to sort of tone down and almost take on the light levels. So yeah, better than I expected. I mean, I like MTP, don't get me wrong. I've always had the feeling that maybe it was slightly too light, but hey, obviously not. My own custom colours, I think it was probably on par. Two completely different approaches, two completely different colours, everything. But they both worked well. I'm quite happy with what I've done here. It was only an experiment. And let's face it, MTP probably cost millions to test and develop. This cost me a 20 quid jacket and a little tub of Dylon dye. So yeah, I'm quite happy with what I've achieved for the price. What do I know? The reasoning behind doing this testing, the current situation we have in Ukraine with Russia. You could almost say it's the return to the Cold War, couldn't you? And I was thinking about it the other night, and during the original Cold War, of course, the British Army had the DPM, the much darker colours. I'm a big DPM fan, I do love DPM. Because the perceived threat and theatre of operation would have been the forests and woodlands of Northern Europe, which is DPM land. They changed to the MTP because, of course, at that time it was the Middle East, Iraq, Iran. They wanted something that would work in the desert as well, and not wanting to go the whole route of having two different camos. True MOD tried to do the cheap route and have a one-size-fits-all camo. Have they achieved it? Well, MTP, as we've just shown, works okay in the woodland, better than I thought at least. And you know, it's light enough to work in the desert. So they did achieve it, I suppose. But now we have this new threat. Are we going to see the British Army going back to a DPM sort of route? Or, as the testing has just shown, is the MTP going to be still up to date for a potential theatre in Northern Europe? Who knows? Let's hope we never get there. Thanks for watching.